out on the phenomenal performing athletes that we've got all over the world. Some absolutely spectacular results this week. And looking forward to some action happening. There's lots of tours still happening internationally, and quite a few of our riders heading back overseas. And then some news Jeremy's got, wrapping it up, I think, more around opportunities of riders moving around internationally. But before we get into all of that, Jeremy, morning, welcome.
Steve, we are up in our game. Hey, check it out. Hey, all nice and slick. Yo, where
Yeah,
to next?
nice and slick, pre-recorded, and
There we
hopefully
go.
means we're going to take out some of the profanities that we add to these comments as we go. This, oh my word, did he really do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll clean it up, and no one will know that it actually happened. Um, well, listen, good little crit race you hosted yesterday. Thank you very much. I got to race in C batch again. Like it's for those listening, it's amazing what racing can do for you when you got a scenario that you can repeat and rely on. So, in other words, the
Yeah.
crit racing, same circuit, same direction, um, usually similar people, and you get to work on your weaknesses race by race, event by event, and work up and get yourself better over time. And for me personally, I've had this journey of the first one I went to the beginning of the year, I got lapped twice, and then the next one I got lapped once, and then I finished seventh or eighth, and then I finished seventh or eighth, and yesterday was the first time I actually got to participate in the racing. In other words, I didn't get, excuse the word, shut out the back, um, and it's keeping me focused and training, and it's what crit racing does for people. It really does give you
Yeah.
that opportunity to be able to do those things. But yeah, again, some quality riders in that field.
Yeah, it was a good day out. I will say this when we have a discussion pre or post any of these events. I love how there's more and more kids getting involved, more and more lighties getting involved to race in that environment. And it's a good place for children to race against kids their own age, so under 11, under 13, under 15, under 17. You're all racing with your peers on a controlled circuit. So as a parent, I wouldn't want to send Natalia out on the roads and say, "Okay,
Oh,
sweetheart, go 5Ks that way, 5Ks that way." That's no parent would want to do that. Whereas at a place like Lords, it's very controlled, nice safe roads, and you can see your kid come past
yeah.
every couple of laps, and your child is racing with their peers, which I think is good, and it'll breed a whole racing culture to come
Yeah,
from this.
and especially for those kids, they do see the older age kids there, and they model and copy them, and
Yeah,
they uh, they they also get comfortable with the people they're seeing week by week. As they see them, they don't feel shy about hanging on to the wheel. They know that's exactly what you're supposed to do. So you've got fast hop on the back. Um, when it's towards the back end of the field, it's not going to make a difference. Obviously, you're not going to do it on the front end of the field, but they get to learn all these things. So yeah, little high five
yeah,
to you, Jeremy, on another
nice.
successfully run criteria. Next week, I believe we have something quite exciting and different happening on your side.
Yeah, this is a discipline of the sport that we see on TV when you're watching all the big tours all over the world, and you see these guys roll out with their fancy helmets and bikes and skin suits that are costing more than a lot than what a small cars do. Team time trials. This Sunday coming up at Lords U again. We're going to run a team time trial. Teams will consist of 4 riders. Time is taken on the third rider across the line. So we can have all male teams, all female teams, and mixed teams. And what's I think is quite special about this is on the day, all of the teams will ride on the same circuit. They will ride the same distance. So you can get a comparison. So if you, your local club, you guys or girls think that we are the best in karting, okay, come right against the best and let's see where you really peg yourself. But of course, it's friendly competition and it creates a good community and a good racing environment.
Yeah, definitely. I used to love team time trials when I was racing. I'm sure you did as well. That feeling
Love
when
it.
you get it right of how fast you can go,
Yeah.
and but you've got to be working together and you've got to be thinking, and it brings out probably some of the best skills that a rider can get because it transfers across to your bunch racing skills as well. Knowing how to sit the wheel, knowing how to be patient, knowing how much work you should be doing so that you don't blow a gasket. and you don't cause damage to those riders in your team as well. So you're going to have to be careful there. I know my son's riding with the other under 15 boys, and two of them are similar level to my son, and one of them he is head and shoulders above the rest at the moment. And yeah, the lesson for the strong one is he's going to have to do longer turns. He's going to have to take up bigger responsibility. He's also going to have to measure his efforts, otherwise he's going to pop riders. And you pop a rider, yeah, that team's going to start to struggle. And you realize you lose 25% of your firepower when you drop a rider. Even if the rider's a little bit weaker, you're better off slowing down as a team than going flat out with three riders, because you're just going to end up tiring everyone out.
Yeah, like you say, it's a good opportunity for riders to learn how to dose the effort, balance the effort, and ride together as a unit.
Yeah, and the other side to that is it gets a group gears going, gets the guys talking to each other. So it's not individual anymore. So I picked up at the race yesterday. It's me. I socialize with everybody. It's lucky to see everyone, but it's no team dynamics going on for me. I'm there to race and try and see how well I can do. Whereas when it becomes team, the guys are calling each other, checking what they're going to do, what time they're going to get there, are they going to do a warm up together? So this whole chaos comes together. And it's part of the intro story I wanted to talk about, which is a bit of sport as purpose. And we're talking about how South Africa can be such a we got a massive alcohol consumption problem, drug problem, social behavior problem, impatience with each other problem, and sport eliminates so many of those things. Because, and I noticed it yesterday driving to your event. I'm driving up Modderfontein Road. It's on the edge of Tembisa, and there's some guys at like 8 o'clock in the morning walking down the road with a quart of beer. You can see he's trashed. It's like one at a time they're walking down. I'm thinking, how could they let them out there? And just down the road, there's the police trapping everybody looking for bribes. But they're not out there keeping control of things like excessive alcohol consumption, which is causing all sorts of problems. But on the way, contradicting that, is a group of runners out there, big smiles on their faces, looking lean and fast and social and tapping out a rhythm as they're running. And as I drive past them, I give them a wave. They all wave back, like sense of community, sense of purpose, and that reason to, like, would I have, if I didn't have the sport, would I have got up and done what I did on Sunday morning? No, the sport gave me that purpose, gave me the reason to do something, and your event gave me something to do. Like, I was so scared, I got up at like 5 o'clock and I got on the indoor train at 5:45 so I could warm up, so I didn't blow my lungs out. And then I went and did the race, and later on I went and did another ride. I loved it, like a day of sport, and it's healthy, it's fun. Sport as purpose is powerful. So yeah, again, to anybody who's listening, enter the events, go and do the events, go and do the training for the events, make them big, scary events, get entering and do your thing with it.
Yeah, very, very cool. Do things that will frighten you and yet excite you and motivate you.
Yeah, absolutely. Talking about that, Jeremy, how's the running going?
Do things that will. No,
I should say it now because I'm running. But 2 weeks ago, you were running and I wasn't.
Yeah, no, not today. I've got this Monday's admin day. There's still a lot that needs to get done, so no, there's not going to be time today. But
tomorrow,
yeah.
Tomorrow we'll be out there. I think you must give us one of those motivational messages from your phone.
There we go.
Yes.
Give everyone the David Goggins treatment.
Yes, do it. The Jeremy Martins treatment, not the David Goggins wishes he was Jeremy Martins. So Jeremy, let's get on with it. Lots of activities happening. The standout one for me was the youngster with the purpose. We spoke about sport with purpose. Yeah. And Byron, absolutely insane performance from him. But let me hand over. You're the man with all the knowledge, all the experience, all the insider insights into what's happening in the racing world. Shoot.
Yeah. Unless you've been living under a rock, you would have noticed that Byron had a fantastic tour of Portugal. One of the stage races on the European calendar. On stage 4, he took the win on one of the mythical climbs of the Tour of Portugal. That raced him up into the top 3 on GC. Then throughout the week, he slipped, I think it was stage 7, or was that stage 8, from 3rd to 4th, but it was always by like 1 second. Those top places were so close. Then going into the time trial, which is the final stage, which was yesterday, it was all to go for. You go from 4th to 3rd to get on the podium at a Grand Tour. Well, not a Grand Tour. Well, not yet. We'll get into a tour like that on the podium. Massive effort, and he delivered. I mean, I was watching the race here on my computer, and you just the way I look at things, you could see when he started, he got on the bike and there was purpose. He was smooth. The rider who he was fighting for that podium place, he just didn't have that same smoothness and didn't have that efficiency on the bike. And when I saw the both of them, when they rolled down the ramp and the road veered right, I was like, yeah, Byron's gonna get this today. That the guy was in third before the end of the stage. Didn't seem to be on it, but Byron had the goods when it counted, and Byron, well done, really well done.
And I think looking at it as well, he's got that purpose. His sisters fight for recovery, Jesse, and that's you spoke about that sport for purpose. He's got a purpose, and the purpose is bigger than him, bigger than his suffering, bigger than his pain. He knows it's temporary. He knows what he's going through is for a bigger purpose. And if you have that big goal in mind, you can slay dragons. And he did that. I mean, Volta of Portugal is not. It's not some pissy little tour. It's that those guys take it seriously. That's like one level below the Grand Tours is where that sits generally. And it's a phenomenal event to do, and not only to get into one of the teams that does it, to then be fighting out, getting a stage win, and getting a podium finish at the end of it for Byron York. And then the organizers shared his story, and quite a few social media influencers in the cycling world did it as well. And it was amazing. He made it work. He took his opportunity, you saw when he took the stage win. I mean, he was in tears for a bit, and all that work that he had done, all that commitment, but all the exposure he's achieved for the cause of raising funds to help with the recovery process for Jesse has been phenomenal. So Byron, well done, buddy. You did it. You're on the road.
Yeah, massive
working at it. Yeah.
And I just hope from my side, I've always been the continuous bike fanboy. I hope that from this, something bigger can come for Byron, in the sense that there's a lot of Spanish teams that were there, that were looking at Byron. He's always been knocking on the doors for the last couple of years, but never really had a result like this. I just hope something bigger can come from this, and we can see more and more on the world international stage.
Yeah, I think he's made himself known now. That's for sure. And so like I say, looking at the other social media guys sharing the story, the number of views that it's got has been. By the way, I'll link that social media at the bottom of this one. It's Burgess and his bike. It's like hundreds of thousands of views on it. And then Volta Portugal put a story out there as well to hunt and promote it, which went out to another couple of 100,000 people. So his message has gone bigger than what I think they ever dreamed. And it was because Byron stuck to his guns. He carried on with the training. His purpose was there. He got over the suffering. He was doing it for more than himself. Love it.
Yeah, very, very good.
Anyway, what else you got, Fraz?
So, as we always like to do, start off with our racing ladies. Ashley Moolman-Pasio doing Ashley Moolman-Pasio things yesterday at the Tour of Romandie. In the break on stage 3, the last stage, having a go at those King of the Mountains points. She ended up rolling in 19th place on GC top 20, and I think more importantly than that, her team, ASG Soudal, they took out the team competition, and Uska Zagat, Mrs. Tadej Pogacar, she was second overall. So Ashley, as always, wherever she goes, you know that she's in the race. She's not just the number of cannon fodder. yeah, to the South proud again at the Tour Romandy.
Yeah, 19
Very,
TC,
very good.
and also still part of that recovery process for her. She's building herself back into that top end of the sport again.
Yeah, very, very good. Um, our keeping with our ladies, Tiffany Keep and Sonara Grove. They last week they actually raced a couple of races together. On Friday, the GP Yvonne Reinders. Tiffany was in the winning move in the break, and then 25 k's out had an accident, so that eliminated a top result for her, but she still managed to finish the race. And then in the sprint to the line, Sonara came in at 16th place. That's a good result for our two ladies. Tiffany, doing Tiffany Keep things, not sitting around waiting, getting stuck into the race and doing herself proud of Sonara in the sprint. She was right there in the mix. And then the both of them are going to be racing tomorrow in Belgium, the Egmont Classic, one of the bigger one-day women races. So yeah, the two of our women will be representing South Africa tomorrow in Belgium.
Nice. We'll see if we can pick up any live feeds on that one. Always difficult to try and pick up these live feeds. Generally, you got to go and find the website of the race, and then go and see what social media has been punted from there. Sometimes you can pick up the live feed, sometimes it's not there.
Then speaking of Belgium, sticking in Belgium and racing, Maddie Leroux, she is going to have a first race back at the end of this week at the Grand Prix Lucien van Impe. After her crash, she's been training and getting ready, building puzzles. Yeah, lucky to see her back on the racing line, and it's the back end of the season. We said it a few months back when she had a big crash. Every cloud has a silver lining. So yeah, hopefully she can come back red hot and hungry for a good result.
Yeah, and she's going to love it in the racing as well. She's been so hungry for this. It's going to be almost like a relief to get back into that race environment.
Yeah, definitely.
Wish her the best
Then
of luck.
Danielle van Niekerk, she raced on Friday night in T-Town on the track, Tractor Town, that Omnium there. Points race, she ran 7th. The elimination, she ran 10th. The tempo, she ran 3rd. In the scratch race, she ran 6th. But on Saturday morning, I actually, when I was going over the results, I picked up something there. And the winner of this event was a woman from New Zealand. That was Bryony Botha. And with a name like Botha, that does not sound from New Zealand or from Australia or from England. I've been doing a bit of digging around and scratching, and yes, she does have strong roots to South Africa. And once I got all my ducks in a row and finals, we can have a chat about her. But the main point is that people that do come from this country, do come from this land, do have talent. She's multiple Olympian, multiple Commonwealth Games medalist, Olympic medalist. She's getting to the right system. She's done what she's done. So the people from South Africa that come from here, we do have what it takes.
And what was the results there? I'm just going to write them in for the Omnium for Danielle.
Points 3rd, elimination 10th.
Yeah.
Tempo 3rd, scratch race 6th.
Of the Omnium. I love Omnium racing.
Yeah, very lekker.
Omnium.
Then we jump over to our elite racing men. Ryan Gibbons was racing the Tour of Denmark, as always, an integral part of the Lido Trek leader train for Mads Pedersen. Fortunately, had a bit of a crash on stage 2 or 3. Luckily, didn't bang himself up too much, but just enough to lose skin and bang yourself up. So that race finished yesterday. Mads Pedersen, yeah, too strong. He won that race quite convincingly, and the Lido Trek boys took control of that race.
Mark, so he was part of that team structure team, man.
Yeah.
Again, and it's amazing because he does a lot of work for that team. Man. He's always out there making sure he does his job. We talk about it every week how important it is to be a team player. You work way more as a team player, and a team player can be a race winner, but 90% of the teams are made up of guys who are not race winners. They are supporters of the race winner. And Ryan's just one of those absolute rock stars on knowing exactly what it takes. We're actually talking about SA Champs 2 years ago and how he controlled things there, knowing that he knows how to lead a race as well. I mean, he absolutely took control of that SA Champs 2 years ago. he delivered on it as well. He organized a team around him, and he handed out instructions and controlled things just like I suppose he does that for the riders who got to win races. He makes calls and controls things as needed.
Yeah, and on that day, on the easier part of the circuit, well, the race for the day, the race worked out in such a way that the break went away really early on in the race, and as they being the race, entered the Suikerbos Nature Reserve, he had ridden across solo from the group, the chasing group, to the front split. Yeah,
Yeah,
strongest man of the day by far. I mean, to ride across a gap like that solo, oof, he was in
yeah,
good shape, very good shape.
yeah. But listen, the teamwork of the other guys who helped him to that role definitely made it a little bit easier. We spoke about last year's SA champs, and things seemed to turn a little bit negative when they realized it wasn't like, why do the pacing if everyone's just going to sit my wheel, as opposed to, could I line up a few riders to help me pace? And that's part of the logic and tactics of thinking. You've got to think about this. You've got to have your team players there. It's not. I'm going to say that Alan Hadley, Stefan de Bot, they lost the SA champs because they didn't have team players to help them. They didn't have people willing to sit there on the front and sacrifice their race for them to close the gap on the breakaway.
To be a race winner, you need to have a multitude of skills. It's not all physical and smash, smash. You need to be able to work within the confines of the race. And
yep.
Yeah,
teamwork required. Yeah, he does team players.
Exactly.
Anyway, okay. So Ryan Gibbons there, Tour of Denmark. We're gonna have to see. I believe there's some news might be coming out about Ryan at some stage, but we don't know what that is at the moment. We'll keep you guys updated as we hear things.
Yeah. Then Stefan de Bot, he is back in Spain. He's getting ready to race again towards the back end of this month, heading over towards Eastern Europe or Southeastern Europe, Turkey. Yeah, got some races coming up there for him. Then Morne van Niekerk, our French pro regular guy that we talk about, he's actually starting to race on the 19th, which is tomorrow. The Tour de Limousine. 4 stages. Yeah, big race in France. A lot of the World Tour teams are lining up for that. And I'm sure we will speak about him because Morne van Niekerk, he's not going to sit around and wait for the race to happen. Same thing as what Tiffany does. Don't sit there and wait. Just go make the race happen.
Yeah. Okay, so he's lining up at Tour Limousin at France. Stefan de Bot getting ready for Turkey.
Then
next up,
let's jump straight to this. Pedri P3 Krauser. He's actually landed himself a very, very big opportunity here. He's going to be lining up with the World Cycling Center for a team for the Tour de l'Avenir. That's essentially the baby Tour de France. And it's a great opportunity, a great platform to showcase yourself because the scouts are there, the teams are there. If you can deliver on a stage result, B, a solid performance, you put your name up there in the lights. And really hoping Pedri can do something with this. He's had a good year so far. And I think if he can build on that and get notes to the Tour de l'Avenir, that could be an opportunity to get himself into the higher levels of world cycling.
Sure, definitely. That'll be a big one for him. He's had some great performances throughout the year so far as well. Second half of the season, we're waiting for seeing him lighting things up again. And yeah, I think he's definitely got notice so far. He's not going to be someone arriving there with like zero experience. He knows how to handle things.
Yeah, and the fact that the World Cycling Centre, they put a team together and they've identified him, that just goes to show that people are watching and they are noticing. Yeah. And it's good enough for them to select him. I'd say that's a very good thing for him.
Yeah, no, brilliant. Well done, Pedri.
Then let's stay in France. Blaine Kick, another one of our regulars on this video that we do. He's got quite a busy weekend. He's raced Saturday, raced yesterday, and he's racing again today. Yesterday at the GP Saint-Souple, he rolled in a 51st place. What I find interesting about this was that there was 100 starters, 68 finishes. So that means not even 70% of the field is finishing the race, which just goes to show the different approach to racing. I mean, when the racing, of course, the racing is hard, but what a lot of guys will do is, if you know you're racing 3 days in a row and you get to day 2 and you're having a bad day, off day, or whatever it is, there's not always not point absolutely flogging yourself to death so that day 2 you're not going to be able to deliver the goods and deliver on team orders. So yeah, Blaine, I suspect does not fall into that category because he finished the race knowing full well that he's going to be racing again today. And again, another one of those riders. He's had a couple of good results, and yeah, he's going to keep on going, putting his name up there, and hopefully be snapped up by one of the bigger teams where he's riding at now. And yeah, pursue his career further in 2026 in France.
Yeah, I can see these all these South Africans that are performing each in their own little bubbles are going to start coming together at some point, and we're going to see them teaming up, 2 or 3 riders in a team, starting to work for each other, look after each other. They've got the experience now, they've got the confidence, they know what they're good at, and I can see a few of these riders coming together, like a Blaine Kick and a Pedri Kraza together in a team. They different style of riding. They would be complementary to each other, not competitive to each other, and definitely something I would watch out for in the future. It'll be cool if we did see it.
Another one of those riders who could fall into a similar situation with these two guys was Kieran Gorge. We've often spoken about him. Quietly goes about his business. You're not too flashy. You don't hear about all his song and dance all over the place. He raced in Italy on Saturday at the GP Capo d'Arco, and he rolled in 12th place.
Yo.
Last weekend he was 7th. Last weekend, not now, and on Saturday he finished 12th. So clearly he's on a bit of a good run, and this is not his first time that he's been at or under the top 10 at races in the last little while.
Jeez, that is phenomenal. So he's another one that's like very similar to what we've been seeing with someone like a Pedri Kraza, he's in the mix, he's doing his thing, he's quietly getting on with it, not a massive amount of social media, no noise about it, just stick to the job at hand. And like we almost need to send some social media teams out there to follow these guys for a while, because it is like the stories to be told here. I mean, that's a phenomenal performance.
Yeah, there's plenty of them.
GP Couple guy call.
Yeah, very, very good. Again, the guy quietly goes about his business, just get shit done. Good on you.
Getting shit done. Well done, Kieran.
Then we're going to hop over to the other side of the world in China. 2 guys there, Callum Ormiston and Jose Kleinsmith, are riding for Chinese pro team. They raced yesterday at the race called around Chagan Lake. Speaking to Jose earlier this morning, he said the big break went early on in the race, and him being Jose and Callum found themselves in it. And then a little bit later on, the group split up again. Callum got himself into the second split, and Jose went back into the group. And Callum managed to round off and getting a very solid 9th place, top 10 in the Chinese Pro League one-day race. And Jose was in the sprint for the back end of the group, and he managed to roll in 30th place.
30th. Well done, guys. Yeah, we were talking about how that Chinese, the racing on the east side of the world has absolutely gone up a level, and it's become a serious professional league there. There's some
big
racing going on that side.
Yeah, and we're going to touch on this just now. There's another South African that's going to be heading that way in the not too distant future. So things are happening in the east, and it's securing top international riders.
Yeah, and a bit of seniority going on as well, helping those riders make their way across into that environment, which would be worth the acknowledgement as well.
Yeah, 100%. Then hopping back to Spain, Joshua Dyke. He is actually racing today, a one-day race in Chativa. Then on Wednesday, he starts a 5-day stage race called the Castilla de la Manche. So he's
Okay.
racing Monday, Tuesday off, and then a 5-day stage race starting on Wednesday.
Yo. That's the way to do it, though. Get into the racing and get used to the process.
100%. Get you to racing, yeah. Get your high intensity. You have some good days, some not so good days, but keep on going, keep on moving with the process.
Yep.
Then another South African rider, Carlo Engelbrecht, he's still in Belgium. He's got 2 races coming up this week on the 20th, which is Thursday. He's racing up at the GP Tuhout, and the 23rd, which is Saturday, the GP Oddegem. So he's also busy applying his trade in Belgium. And that's something I picked up on the weekend. Ethan Coulson.
Yes.
He has flown out to Belgium to get some racing in. So I'm sure also we'll be getting some information from him and adding him to our list of things that are going on.
Sure. Got quite a long list of riders going on at the moment again. And these are just the ones we know about.
Yeah, and there's more that's coming in. The boys are busy. Then we get to our 2 South African riders that are ready for the Maida Pro Cycling team that are from Algeria, Emil van Niekerk and Warren Moorman. They flew out on Friday night. They are currently now in Poland. They've got a couple of one-day races there. Then in the back end of August, they're going to be going to Oman. I think it's a 4-day stage race. So yeah, they've had a couple of issues. They haven't been able to get themselves across there now, but yeah, seems like they got all that paperwork sorted out, and they're lining up back at the races. I mean, I know Emil van Niekerk came to a few of the East Side crits. You could see he had a little bit of ring rust, but when it came down to sprint and it counted, he delivered. So big, strong guy, obviously been keeping himself in reasonably good shape in South Africa, and I hope that he goes. He's definitely going to be hungry. He hasn't raced for a while. He's going to want to win races.
Yeah,
that's good.
Well, good luck, boys. We'll be watching.
Okay, then we go on to our junior riders. We've spoken about this a lot in the last couple of months. We've got a very good crop of junior riders that are moving through now. Gustav Roller, he flew out back to Belgium about a week ago, and he had his first racing this weekend at the Ronde des Vallées. 2 days, 3 stages. Day 1 was the opening road stage. Day 2, the morning was the time trial. Day of the afternoon was a road race. Things that I picked up here that are worth mentioning is that on the time trial, he finished 21st. So in 21st in the time trial means you've got the power, and I suspect same sort of thing with Gustav. It would be with Emil and Warren, that little bit of ring rust. That European racing is, he was in South Africa for a while now, doing a lot of hard work and training, but you're not quite race ready yet. I think give him not too long, and he'll be right up back in it again.
Yeah, you have to sharpen that pencil a little bit as you get into the racing, learn to push those limits again. South Africa doesn't really give you the opportunity to push those limits, but he did lots of hours, many hours of training here, so he's got a solid base built up in him. He's going to handle that racing just fine.
Yeah, he'll be good. Also, Junior World Track Champ starts the back end of this week. So he'll be lining up for that. You got Morgan Jones, Noah September, Zane Salzwedel, Gustav Roller, and I missed 2 riders, yeah. But yeah, those guys are getting ready. Junior World Track Champs is in Apeldoorn in Holland. Yeah, the boys will be lining up for that, and hopefully they can build on what they did last year. I mean, I've spoken about this a lot. That Reese Burrell rolled in 9th place in the points race at Junior World Track Championships. I mean, top 10 at World Champs. That's a massive result, huge result.
Yeah, no, it is. It's phenomenal, and I think the level of experience these riders have, the years of that experience as well, is definitely going to pay off. They're coming in as the seniors in there, and Gustav Rolle is now considered a senior in that environment. So he's going to be there, bossing his way around the racing.
Yeah, hopefully in the coming days we'll have to do a quick emergency meeting and a video to discuss top 10, top 5 podium results, what the boys have achieved there. That would be awesome. Really awesome.
Maybe we need to do a daily little wrap up of the track racing and a little bit of a summary. We can get hold of Mark Lowe. He's going to be team manager, I believe.
Yeah.
for the track guys. We'll get hold of Mark Lowe and we'll see what he can give us on the daily updates. See if we can chat to a few of the riders as it goes through. Whether it's you doing it or
Yeah,
me
that'll be
doing
cool.
it or us doing it, we'll figure it out.
Yeah. Then our Bulgarian, South African, Bulgarian, all depends how you want to look at it. Nicholas van der Merwe. He, of course, he quietly went about this. I had to go do a little bit of research. I saw last week, Thursday and Friday, he raced the Part of the Nations Cup, the Hungarian League. Very, very good time trial results. He ran in 30th place, but just get this, the average speed for the time, his average speed for the time trial was 48 kilometers an hour. That's pretty damn quick.
Jeez, that is
very, very fast. Yeah. And that's
48 km/h average.
Yeah. Quick.
Oof,
That
is fast.
He ended up 36 on GC at the Nations Cup in Hungary.
Yeah. Nice work, Nicholas.
Then Zander Rasmus racing for the Krabby Destiny team. He lined up in Limburg yesterday. What is yesterday? Yeah, yesterday. Yeah, he came in a very credible there, 29th place in the group sprint. So Zander Rasmus, hot off his international results in Germany last weekend. Yeah, straight back into it again this weekend at the Limburgse Pijl.
Nice. Limburg that is Germany, no, the border of Holland and Germany.
Yeah.
Holland.
Yeah.
There we go. So much.
Then then Carter Barnes, he hasn't raced last week. He's got quite a busy little block coming up this week. He's racing the Vuelta Galicia. It's again a 2-day, 3-stage race. Then the week after that, so next week, he's racing the Junior Tour of Portugal. Hopefully Byron's accomplishments there can help to motivate and inspire him to hopefully emulate a podium placing.
No, I saw on his social media, he was saying he's had a solid little week of training where he's just focused on getting the training he needs done, and he's ready to race. So we should be seeing some good results coming out as well.
Yeah, look forward to that. Then our current South African junior road race champion, Matthew Horter, he raced yesterday at the GP Valkenburg. Yeah, I was chatting to him on Saturday morning, and he's giving me a description of the race. I mean, you and I will know this, that in Holland, it's a lot of circuit races. So he's saying there are 3 big loops and then 2 smaller loops, 110 Ks with 1,600 meters of climbing. And a usual point of reference, the ride Joburg is 97 Ks with 1,100 meters of climbing. So this was a little bit longer and about nearly 50% more climbing. So yeah, that's a hard race.
Yeah, it is. It's quite a thing when you got more climbing though. It does change the dynamics of the race a little bit. And the guys still attack hard. You'll get those that are attacking to get away, and you'll get those who are hiding, trying to wait for the climb, and then they'll make their attacks. And none of that racing is ever smooth racing on a climb. Those guys, no. It's like someone pulled the pin on a hand grenade, and there's explosions going off all over the place. It's crazy how aggressive they are on the climb. Where what you see in South Africa, generally it settles down a little bit more in the climbs. You know, the guys settle down, do their thing, put their power down, and off they go. There, it's like you think, how the hell do they keep that power down? They can't, and they actually can't. They just go so hard to try and get rid of everyone. And once they've done that, then they try and figure out how to survive it.
Yeah, junior racing for you.
Yeah.
But yeah, Matthew, yeah, he rolled in at 35th place yesterday. So he's starting to look. He's been racing there for, I think, it's his 2nd season now. He's starting to understand how the racing works. He knows about positioning, knows about placing. Yeah, good result.
Yeah, well done, Matthew. Good kid, that one.
Then 2 things here, are racing related, but I picked up that the 2025 Cape Town Cycle Tour champion, Tyler Lange. This is very interesting. Yeah. He's actually going to be signed up as a stagiaire for Team China Glory, the team that Billy Smith rides for. And he has his first race with them in 2 weeks' time, the Tour of Shanghai.
Yeah.
It's nice to
They're
see that
also
we
heading
will
off
have
to
a
East as well.
yeah, Team China Glory. They've actually got a pretty balanced, nice racing circuit. They do a lot of racing in Europe. There's also quite a lot on the Asian circuit. So another one of the South African riders looking at this Asian circuit and going, this is a good thing to follow.
Sure, well done, Tyler. And stepping into the shoes of his dad, a phenomenal race winner in South Africa 25, 30 years ago. And yeah, he's got some big wins here in South Africa already. I remember Tyler,
Yeah.
I think it was one of the Twitter rides for Ride Joburg back in the day when it was called Cycle Challenge. And Malcolm was riding, and Tyler was there on a 24-inch Pinarello road bike. Tiny little kid on a tiny little bike, and everyone's going, "Oh, that's so cute." No, he's not so cute. No, he's pretty dangerous on a bike.
Yeah.
He's flipping fast, and anyone takes him to the line, they know they're going to be in a little bit of trouble because he's confident on that sprint.
Yeah, he was very, very good. Early part of the Cape Town Cycle Tour winner, winner of the Knysna Festival. Won that also about a month ago. Yeah, did a really, really good season. And I'm glad to see that a rider of his stature, what he's done in South Africa, is pursuing the option of going to go race for the team that's going to be racing a lot in Europe and a lot in Asia. I think it's a good balance, and it's a very good way to start.
Yeah, and Billy Smith seems to be doing a good job over there as one of the seniors, just giving those guys a bit of direction. Obviously, opening the eyes to the team selectors as well to these South Africans.
Yeah. Very, very lucky that doors are being opened and opportunities are being created. Very cool.
Yeah. Cool. So
Speaking of open doors and opportunities that are being created, George Hincapie, the former teammate of Lance Armstrong, established pro, bit of a checkered past, but yeah, his son Enzo Hincapie is racing and performing really well. I remember watching, when was it, the E3 Herelbecker race, where Josh Johnson was doing a fantastic job, and I saw lots of images and videos, and Josh Johnson was going here. It's platforms where his son and the younger generation of Americans can move back into the world, the top level of world cycling. So there is going to be a team starting up. I think it's next year. Obviously not straight into World Tour, but they need to build up that. And word around the campfire is that he is a South African rider that is going to be part of this mix. And it's, interesting to see.
We don't know who it is as yet, but we will find out.
Well, if you put two and two together, Hincapie, the team is going to be based in the US and then in Girona in Spain. And if you put two and two together, just have a look at the South Africans that are based in Girona. I think from there you can make your assessments as to who you think it could be. There are quite a few South Africans that are in and around that area. I'm flipping intrigued. I have no idea who this is. Well, for the guys who are listening, who do you think it's going to be? Who's your pick on this? I'm looking forward. It will come out probably the next month. If I had to hazard a guess, I'm going to watch this one quite intently.
The story is going to develop. We're going to find out who it is. I'm pretty certain that someone's going to let the cat out the bag at some point.
Yeah, so Steve, that's me for Monday and all the details that I could pick up. Yeah.
Nice. So I had one extra one, which was I think it was a little bit older than you. I think he was 2 years older than me. Anton Vermaak, who was a Belgian South African now living in America. His son is just being signed by UAE Emirates.
UAE, I saw that, yeah.
Oh, jeez. How's that for a...
And do you know who his coach is?
Who's his coach? Jeremy Moss.
This guy, his father was a prolific coach on the track, probably a little bit before your time. And this rider has also then raced on the track and is also a coach now.
Oh, really?
They got French connections.
Should we
Simon
ask
Kessler.
everyone to guess? Oh, Mr. Kessler. Yes.
Simon Kessler, yeah.
Yes. No, we
Pretty
got to
cool
build
that
a
did.
list up one day of all these names you mentioned. In fact, what I'm going to do, I'm going to try and run these names that I run every single week into an Excel spreadsheet and see how many names uniquely mentioned every single one of these weekly reports we do. It's crazy.
Yeah, and it's Steve, you know, the reason why we do this is that we can highlight that there are South Africans around the world and they are performing at the highest level, despite all of the odds stacked against them. South Africa is a very resilient nation, even though we got a club this weekend across the board in a couple of sports. But the guys and girls are out there, they are doing it, they are trying hard, and they are excelling. You know, when you're opening, one of our opening comments here was, oh man, I forget her first name, Miss Buerta. She comes from South Africa, and we do have the genetics, yeah. Byrony, that's the one.
Yeah.
So yeah, the guys and girls are doing it on their own, very limited backing. The guys are finding a way, and the guys and girls are doing things. We are a very resilient nation.
Absolutely. And coming up events, you mentioned the UCI Junior Track World Champs from the 20th to the 21st.
Yeah.
24th, sorry. In Apeldoorn, Netherlands. And we'll try and get some updates from Mark and the rest of the crew. I'm going to chase up on Mark about that. Maybe chat to the on-track guys as well. We'll see what information we can get for you. Vuelta España, running from the 23rd of August to the 14th of September, the third of the big grand tours. And then World Champs at Kigali is getting closer and closer. That's 21 to 28.
5 weeks. 5 weeks.
And I see the guys are prepping for that as well. In between, we've got World Champs mountain biking also happening in the next little while. I'll be doing a catch up with Jason tomorrow. And yeah, that's all the activity on the mountain biking side. All we've done is touch on the road racing side and maybe a little bit of track racing. But yeah, there's so much happening out there. And we've got some South Africans participating, quite a long list of South Africans participating in that World Champs of the mountain biking side across Gravity, XCC, XCO, Enduro. So I'll wish those guys the best of luck. But quite a busy period coming up. Lots of high intensity racing and lots to go for as well. Jeremy, I think that's about it from our side, huh?
Yeah, all good.
Okay, Jeremy, we'll see you out there for a run.
Okay.
Forward to David Goggins' message, and I'm going to take.
You'll be getting it.
Yeah, I'm going to do my push-ups, 100 push-ups. Join me if you can. And yeah, thanks for all that notes and to all those riders. Well done. Remember, guys, send us updates. We're not going to know what's going on if we can't see it. So even if it's dropping a voice note or DMing us on Instagram or something like that, send the notes through. Let us know what's happening. We'll share the news for you. Tell people what you're up to. We'd love to hear it. Jeremy, thanks very much.
Cool.
Absolutely amazing again. Chat later. Cheers, guys.
See you later. Cheers. Bye-bye.